It's 2 minutes past 2 UK time. It's some other time in California. Let's go. Let's go. Into the dawn. We will tune Santa Barbara ground and ask to depart straight out.
Santa Barbara ground, Cessna Golf Juliet Foxtrot Charlie with Bravo. Request taxi for takeoff, departing straight out. Cessna Golf Juliet Foxtrot Charlie, taxi 2 and hold short of runway 7. Using taxiway runway 7. Contact tower on 119.7 when ready.
It's all the sevens. You better hope we're on runway 7, because if we're not, I don't know where it is.
Taxiway runway 7. Cessna Juliet Foxtrot Charlie.
Can we go, Tower? Can we go?
Santa Barbara Tower, Cessna Golf Juliet Foxtrot Charlie. Ready for departing straight out at runway 7. Cessna Golf Juliet Foxtrot Charlie. Clear for takeoff. Runway 7. Straight out departure approved.
Hooray!
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 7. Cessna Juliet Foxtrot Charlie.
So, while my subscriber Englander fills the Twitch chat room with pies, we begin our journey. We begin our journey across California, but not until I've done that. And hopefully it will take off without me having to think about it. Let's go. Have a little look round. We've got some traffic and some mountains. Got some blue lights. Got some clouds. And we have liftoff! Yippee! Up and away! Thank you, Santa Barbara Tower. With your lovely little shiny lights there. Dawn is slowly breaking. Oh, there was another runway. There we go. Just switch windows so we can have a better look down. There we are. It's quite a big place. Today's scenery is photorealistic, just about, and is brought to you by blueskyscenery.com. It gets a lot better when we get a lot higher up in the air, as we obviously will do in the next hour or so. But it does mean that everything that you are seeing below you is in fact there in real life, which is awesome. The weather is also real. This is what it's really like in California this morning. We will be climbing to an altitude of something, at which point I'll get bored and decide that we're heading north. If you're in the chat, welcome to you on this rather lazy Sunday. There's not a lot going on. Cardiff are playing Manchester City later. I nearly did Cardiff to Manchester, but the scenery wasn't that good. There's some diving on after me, if you're into that kind of thing. For now, we're going to hang out in what is promising to be amazing scenery in California. Nothing like you'd expect California to be. I will show you on my map that we suddenly start getting some mountains and things. There's a big mountain over there, actually. Big hills. I don't know anything about California at all, so I don't know what mountain range that is or what hills these are, but they're going to be pretty good. All of you are saying, how can Blue Sky Scenery sell stuff from the UK? They don't. In actual fact, what they do, if you'll excuse me being interrupted, what they do instead is free, they do free West Coast of America. California, Oregon, Utah, Nevada, Arizona, Washington. I'm afraid, I'm sorry to say, some guy, that I did not get the app. I forgot about it, but you're right, I need to get the app. I need to get the app that tells us where we are. Let's go up just a little bit quicker. as my airspeed seems to be holding up. And we haven't died yet like we had by this time last week. Hello to Youngster. He says, are you over Orange County? Quite possibly. Is Santa Barbara in Orange County? Because that's where we've just taken off from. We will climb until it is safe to turn, at which point we will turn. Those are some quite high hills. Womble says, isn't Santa Barbara where Lost Boys was set? I imagine it could well have been. Haven't seen that film since I was about 15. Zach says, what aircraft add-on are you using? I am in a Cessna Skyhawk G1000, painted red and scrawled with an advert for JFC. The view from the Santa Barbara Tower, going, thank God she's left, good riddance. That's me. And this is our view of the hills. What are we up to? 4,200 feet. Do you feel lucky? That's the question, isn't it? Do you feel lucky? Do you think we're going to make it? That sky is very, 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 very purple. I hope there hasn't been some sort of apocalypse. Leaving behind the city, and we will be turning. Wobble says, will we make it in time for afternoon tea and cake? Well, if you've brought your own, you can start them now. Regrettably, on this plane, there are no facilities whatsoever. But the Crystal Crow has left you her KFC bucket, so that if the weather ends up being like it was last time, you can use the bucket accordingly. It's very, very, very dark. I sort of expected it to be more light by now. I expected dawn to have actually happened, and it hasn't, which is a bit concerning. I could be tempted to shunt on the time a little bit, although the stars are pretty cool. If you've been tweeting, thank you very much indeed. If you are in Twitch and you're able to host, that would be very, very, very much appreciated. And if you're in YouTube and can give it a like, and make sure that you've got notifications turned on so that you know exactly when I am up in the plane. Hello, Russell. Oh, that engine noise is so soothing. I'm sure we can put a stop to that at some point. However, I am just going to knock on the time just very slightly because it's not daylight and I think that in an hour it will be. So you'll have to forgive me just for a moment It's just so that we can see the spectacular scenery. It's so spectacular, it's taking ages to load. That's quite normal. In you come. In you come. Talk amongst yourselves. Womble says that Englander, beg your pardon, says that I doubt that Santa and Barbara Windsor expected to have a city named after them, but it's good that they did. Well, quite. There we go. We've got some blue sky. And there is the scenery. Yay! Right, let's hang a left. As we're heading over now, all of these volcano-y bits. There she blows. That's where I've just come from. Ah, lovely. It's a big place. Dock over there with lots of probably posh people's yachts in it. I don't know how that compares to the Alps last week. They were pretty spectacular. But California scenery, I think, is a bit more varied. I think we're going to see some different bits and pieces over the next hour or so. At the moment, it kind of looks like a cactus. That looks like the edge of a cactus. We'll have a look out of your window. Yep, very definitely cactus. I can see a lake in the distance there. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that a lot. There's looking back to the coast. Got some green bits. There's a golf course. The green bits are a golf course. Is it Santa Barbara Golf Course? That's rather lovely. We are continuing to climb. We are currently at an altitude of 7,000 feet. It's actually getting more interesting on this side. Oh, actually, while I think about it, let's not repeat the mistakes of old. I don't know how cold it is in California at the moment, but I'm putting all my lights on and the heat. There we go. That's rather lovely. Welcome to you. A few people have just wandered in. If you're new here, welcome to Come Fly With Me, otherwise entitled Jenny's Flying Circus, although today is all about the scenery of California. Southern California, heading north across all the sort of volcano-y bits. We've just taken off from Santa Barbara Municipal Airport. We are climbing to an altitude of 10,000 feet, which may or may not be enough to avoid smacking into the side of a hill. The weather is just very slightly turbulent, so if you have a KFC bucket, you may wish to eat the chicken now, so that you can throw it back into the bucket later. There are no drink services on this plane. There are no anything on this plane, including life jackets, an emergency exit, supplemental oxygen, or peanuts. If you live in California, or have some knowledge of California, and you're able to tell us what we're going over, or even just saying I can see my house from here, Although I can't imagine that anybody would live in these hills. You are very welcome to do so. Let's have a little look down at this lake coming up. There's all these windy, sandy bits. I'd like to think the area is called Windy Sandy Bits. The in-flight meal, Russell, is whatever you can scrounge off the person sitting next to you. Although Englander has already handed around the subscriber pie. I have to say that that does look pretty realistic. I'm very happy with that. There are lots of national parks around here, I think. I think Yosemite might be around here somewhere. I think there's a big forest that I can't remember the name of. Is there one called... Is it Sequoia? Sequoia National Park? Ah, lovely. Englander says the in-flight meal is some popping candy and an old can of Quattro from 1988. In fairness, this plane is old enough for somebody to have accidentally lost a can of Quattro down the back. My God. Quattro. That takes me back. Whew. Right, how are we doing with the old altitude? 8,600. I think that should be enough to clear this. You better hope it's enough to clear this. Now clear this. It's cactus land. Womble says, apparently Poundland sell popping candy now, in case you needed to know that. Hello to Megamass72. It says, are you flying an X-plane? No, this is Flight Simulator X. But the scenery has had an upgrade, thanks to blueskyscenery.com. So it looks a heck of a lot better than the default. I've also got FTX Global. But that doesn't count here, it's just the photorealistic stuff. What a strange view that is. It's just lots and lots and lots of little hills. If we have a look at the old map here, you'll see that it does actually all break out into this big valley, which I think is where all the national parks start. Megamass72 is new here. Megamass72 is in Twitch. In case you're wondering why sometimes I'm talking to people who don't seem to be in your chat room, it's because I can see Twitch and YouTube at the same time. This is the Rocky Mountain Range, apparently. Thank you very much. It's very nice, I have to say. It looks dead realistic, I think. It's a bit hazy, a bit lovely. Let's have a look out the other side of the plane again. Don't look at any of that stuff. Look at this side, where the clouds are starting to gather in the valleys. You are all slagging off my plane. Whoops. Going on strike. Stop slagging off my plane. It's good. It's awesome. It's got a little bird on the back of it as well. I couldn't afford to have it repainted, so I just scrawled my call sign over the old one. We're too far away from Santa Barbara Tower for them to bother me now, which is good. Hello to Ratcoat Crowskin, who says, can you fly over the hotel from The Shining? Regrettably, I think that the hotel from The Shining wasn't in California. Hello to Just Red, who says there's a gremlin on the wing. Joking, there's gremlins in the engine. And indeed, in the cockpit. Looks like there might be a bit of snow. Is it snow or is it sand? If it's snow, that's quite impressively cold. It's starting to leave the coast behind now. Must be reasonably near to levelling off. We are. We're just 20 feet, in fact, from levelling off. There will be no GPS coordinates for The Shining, just simply on the basis that the hotel doesn't exist in real life. I hate to tell you that. The Outlook Hotel is based on the Stanley Hotel in the Rocky Mountain Range in Colorado. And the Sequoia Redwood forests are in the North Carolina coast. I was wrong then. What's the national park? Yosemite is definitely round here, but there's another one first. I don't know what it is. Oh, sorry, I'm misreading it. Sorry, it is Northern California. Is it pronounced Sequoia or is it Sequoia? Redwood forest. I suspect in winter are they very red? I suspect they might not be. But that doesn't mean that it won't be spectacular, because it will. Because this is pretty good already. Sorry about the very slight turbulence. It happens. Just be glad there's no storm. My God, I was flying across Papua New Guinea the other day and there was a storm and it was awful. You couldn't see anything. The plane was going up and down and up and down and up and down like a yo-yo. That was very unpleasant. I believe as well that the Pacific Crest Trail goes through here somewhere. I've been reading a book about a woman who did the Pacific Crest Trail and frankly, it sounds horrendous. The flight platform is Microsoft Flight Simulator X. It's old, but it runs. And you can download amazing free scenery for it like this. If you have an area that you want me to fly in, I will see if I can find scenery for it. Last week I was asked about Alaska and Ohio. I tried Ohio and unfortunately it was rubbish. And Alaska was kind of the auto-gen scenery. It was alright, but it wasn't particularly exciting. And I also had a look at taking off from somewhere in Hampshire. I can't remember the name of the airfield. But again, unfortunately, the scenery was just a bit bleh. This, however, is woohoo! Right. How are we going? We're actually getting quite close to the valley. I can see it in front of us. There we go. I did look for Daedalus, and it wasn't there. I believe it might currently not be functional, although that doesn't normally make a difference in this simulator. They're usually there. Leon the Solent. I will have a look. I looked it up by its location as well, and I couldn't find it, unfortunately. But it'll be out there somewhere. I did download some other little English airfields, including Duxford. Now, Duxford's very, very well made. Somebody's done a really good job of that. The Imperial War Museum. Is it me, or is this just becoming increasingly inhabitable? Does anybody ever go round here at all? I mean, you just never get out. It's like a giant mountain maze. I can see the types of rock starting to change. It's starting to go a bit red down there. I can also see some fields in the distance. I have a feeling that quite a lot of this is going to be like dry riverbeds and old volcano eruptions and that sort of thing. Definitely not many of those around Leon Solent, that's a fact. I did go back and have a look at Coventry, because when I did the first little trial episode of this back at the New Year, we had somebody from Coventry, so we took off from Coventry Airport, but we couldn't find the cathedral. But there seems to be a cathedral now after I've done a bit of an upgrade. I also downloaded all of the airports for Australia. Did a lot of Australian stuff. And a better version of Manchester in the UK. Florida. Quite a lot of Florida airfields. And the Kennedy Space Centre. Somebody needs to do a pack for the Kennedy Space Centre because it's not that amazing. But all the launch pads are there and that kind of thing. The Vehicle Assembly Building. There's a big windy road. Unless that is an old riverbed. Some very green fields around here. I'm assuming because anything involved with volcanoes is normally very good for fields until the volcano erupts again and then everybody dies, which isn't great. There's some paths leading through the mountains here. Is that a trail of some sort? Or is it just a road? Because I suppose you've got to be able to get through here somehow. I don't think I'd do it. I'd be too worried about, well, dying mostly. Some red rock. Hello, Ravenigma. Hello to you. Ravenigma joins us in YouTube today, but does occasionally turn up in Twitch. If you have not already done so, If you love this scenery, because I think it's amazing, please give it a like. I got some messages last week from Twitch saying that I'd achieved some things or something. I don't know what that was all about. Been an affiliate for ages. Apologies, Megamass, but we are with FSX this afternoon. X-Plane is not on my radar at the moment. Ha ha. Puns. I'm sure somebody out there's probably doing X-Plane, but it's not here. Right, the initial mountains are starting to go away, and we are coming into some very green-looking valleys. If you are just joining us, we took off from Santa Barbara Airport in Southern California. Is it in Southern California? I think. It's on the coast bit. And we've just crossed the mountain range, and we're coming into a big valley where I believe that some national parks start. Just going to go back to my window here. Wow. Wow. Ooh. Circles. What's that about? Is it aliens? To your left, aliens. Ravenigma says that he's in YouTube chat, because most of the chat is in YouTube, but he's also auto-hosting me on Twitch. Thank you very much. Just Red is passing some food around. Don't drop it. Why? Why is that? What's with the round things there? I'm imagining there's a good reason for that, but I don't know what it is. Is it where they've cut things? Do they cut crops in a circle? Do they water them? Is the irrigation system circular? Is that big white line that you can see on the bottom left one an irrigation system that goes round and round and round and round and round and round and round? That's interesting. It is! I've worked it out for myself. Yay! It's alright, Megamass. All of this scenery was free. I haven't been spending anything other than for one thing. Can't remember what the thing was now. FTX. I worked out the crop irrigation on my own. Get in. Thank you to Club Class for backing me up on that one. Club Class. That sounds like a sort of like the business class for Jenny Airways. Club Class, where you at least get a seatbelt. I love the way that through their fields there's like a massive great dry riverbed there. They've done all this nice work and then nature goes nope. Let's have a look on the other side. What's going on over here? More mountains. Hello, Positus, who says, oh, la-di-da, fancy airways with their seatbelts and engines. And safety procedures. And knowledge of where they're going and what they're doing. Ooh, pretty. A little tiny green thing. What's the little tiny green thing down there? Bye, Megamass. Hello, Uncle Jesse, who says, no one's died yet. No, nobody has died yet. How dare you? How dare you? Russell asks whether we can get to Area 51. Is Area 51 in New Mexico? That's very much not in the direction that I'm flying in, I'm afraid. We are heading north, sort of in the direction of Oregon, although we're miles away from Oregon. That's really weird, isn't it? What strange scenery, like weird mountains, crop circles, green bits, not green bits. This is quite a nice, safe flight so far. The weather in California is being very good to us. Area 51 is in Nevada. Ah, am I thinking of Roswell? Or is that in Nevada as well? Is Roswell in New Mexico? Well, we're on the wrong side of California to be going anywhere near Nevada. Although Nevada is in the northeast of here, I think. I have had to learn a little bit about American geography to download the scenery. Roswell is New Mexico. Oh my god, that's like 2 things I know this afternoon. Go me. So where would Area 51 be then? Because is Roswell where they thought that alien crash landing happened? I'm only scraping my knowledge of the X-Files here. Club Class asks, is this blue sky scenery? It is. It is blue sky scenery. That's a very cool website. I downloaded something else as well. I didn't just do California. What else did I download? I can't remember now. I think it might have been Idaho. Oh no, it wasn't. It was Arizona. It was Quartzsite in Arizona because there was an airfield called the Fly-In Picnic Grounds. And that just amused me a lot. Yeah, so I took off from Quartzsite. And that was quite impressive. I quite enjoyed that. This is better though. This is cool. So, Area 51 is just outside Las Vegas. Thank you, Thomas Godfrey, for telling me that. Ooh, on Twitch. It says I've got 10 people watching. You know, that's a record, because everybody watches it in YouTube. I'd rather you watched in YouTube, personally, but I've equalled my record of people in Twitch. B2 says that Roswell is the alien crash site and Area 51 is more secret government stuff. Well, is there likely to be an airfield near the secret government stuff? Club Class says that the approach to Seattle in Washington blue sky is awesome. I will bear that in mind. I mean, honestly, I could download all of it. It's all amazing. I mean, the scenery down here, it doesn't even look real, does it? We talk about aliens. Are you sure some aliens didn't land down there? It's so weird. Britain doesn't really have anything like this at all. Largely because we don't have any volcanoes. Which is obviously good. That's a good thing. This looks like it was a massive river or something. Oh, and it could be a river of lava. Oh, it might be. When it looks like a river flowing through, it might be that some lava flowed through. That's terrifying. Ratcoat Crowskin says, I thought that YouTube was evil now. It is actually, to be honest. Yes, it is. Not least because it's taken about 3/4 of my views off me. Which is why I will now promote the fact that I have a new video out today. I have a new Oblivion video out today. It's awesome, but it's got spiders in it. I didn't know there were spiders in Oblivion. I've never seen a spider in Oblivion. There were spiders. It was awful. Hello, Matthew Booth. He says, I'm watching in both. I suppose you could watch in both. I do like the idea that people are watching on their TVs. There's something quite, like, kind of invadey about that. It's a bit home invasion, that. Jenny on your telly. Right, let's look in front of us. Ooh, wow. That's not snow, that's just the colour of the rocks. That's absolutely stunning. It's just fields over there, but that is absolutely stunning and bizarre. Uncle Jesse says, what we are seeing here is the buckling of the earth. That really genuinely is wowzer. Never think of California as being like this. I think maybe it's because you just see the coast, like in the adverts that they have, where they say, why don't you come to California? To which my reaction is, it's too expensive. It's always beaches. But in actual fact, California is a very big place, and much of it is volcanic. And I understand that Oregon is even more volcanic and has some super exciting bits. I think I get bored in Britain sometimes. I know that we do have some nice bits, like maybe the Lake District, some of Wales, some of Scotland, but really it's a bit dull. Like, I even get excited sometimes if I'm on a train that goes through Chester or like out towards the Peak District, and I go, oh my god, there's like hills, because I don't normally see them. And I'm from a very, very flat place. I'm from kind of East England, where it's just flat, basically. All of this is very strange to me. Let's have a look in your side of things. More fields, some yellow ones. Oh, there's a town below us. That's quite a big town. Wonder where that is. Is there an airport nearby? Oh, there is. Let's just have a quick look. It's KBFL. If somebody could look up what KBFL is, that's where we are. Imagine living in KBFL and seeing that. Right, we're just heading into the valley now. It looks like the scenery to our right is going to be the most exciting. KBFL is Bakersfield, California. Thank you, Ravenigma. Bakersfield. They used to have an ice hockey team called the Condors. Do they still have an ice hockey team called the Condors? I kind of know North America by its ice hockey teams, which is kind of weird. It's Meadows Airfield. Thank you, B2 and Ravenigma. Ligomatic, who I think is new here, she or he says, my mum is visiting and she's reading the paper and you're on the TV. She's baffled by the concept of Let's Plays. Hello, Ligomatic's mum. Yeah, I suppose, why not do it yourself? That is a question. Why would you not want to do it yourself? I mean, ultimately, this isn't really a Let's Play. It's more, let's have a chat to some nice scenery. And check out some airfields. But I can understand why you would think they're a bit strange. Bye, Bakersfield. It's nice knowing you. Bit of low-hanging cloud there. Both chat rooms are now saying hello to your mum. Because we're nice and polite round here. We don't do, screaming and swearing and showing dead people hanging from trees and that kind of thing. We just like to see the scenery. There we go. See, Bakersfield Condors, who are affiliated with the Edmonton Oilers. That's a long way. Yikes. That's a long, long way. Why on earth would you want to go all the way from Edmonton down to Bakersfield? How strange. That's very weird. I always imagined that farm teams would be somewhere near the team that they are the farm of, but no, apparently not. B2 says, to thaw out. Yes, that's a very good point. Right, we're coming into the valley. It's all fields by the looks of things. Just Red says that this is background noise with awesome scenery. That's pretty much what it's intended to be. I'm just cleaning out the pigs. Do the pigs have a TV in their shed? Wait, you have pigs? Wait, what? You're going to have to go back several steps here. Do you have pigs? Or is this... I don't know. Is this a metaphor for something? Is this a euphemism for something? Maybe you could have a farm in Bakersfield. They've got the land by the looks of things. Coming up on a very green bit. It's very strange, isn't it, seeing this? This very sort of brown, grey, dry thing. And then some very, very green fields, which look like a big farm patchwork quilt. What we might do then... I was going to say I could just turn just a little bit so that we're a bit nearer the big mountains. Megamass says, would you answer my question? I didn't see your question, sorry, what was your question? The chat doesn't take up very much space on my screen. I'm gonna just go slightly over here so that we can get nearer to these interesting mountains. There might be a river. Is that a river down there, or is it a road? Ah, it's guinea pigs. Right, that makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense. I had visions of you having pigs in your living room. Right, good. It's going green on all sides now. You might well be going green as well by now. I don't think the weather's been too bad though. We have been caught in some pretty horrific turbulence. B2 is providing some facts about Bakersfield. It grows tons and tons of things. Flowers, grapes, citrus, almonds, potatoes. Blimey, that's a very big range of goods. It's very fertile. It looks it, doesn't it? It looks really, really green. So underneath us then are some flowers, some grapes, some citrus, some almonds, and some potatoes. Food. How far do I live from Lakenheath RAF base? Crumbs, I have no idea. Where is Lakenheath RAF base? I have honestly never heard of it. You can just see there where the land changes totally from not growing anything here to growing all the things. That's cool. Oh, ooh! I have to say that wasn't moving there, sorry. And a bit of a balk. There's a big trail as well there again. One of your guinea pigs is a cow. What? That's not strange at all. Lakenheath is in Suffolk. No, no, actually, other end of the country, I'm afraid. I'm in Cheshire, near Cheshire. So, No, I don't know it. I don't really know my air bases at all. I know Duxford, and I now know Daedalus because I've been told about it. And that's about it. Oh, and I know Shawbury. I've heard of RF. Is it RF Shawbury? And Donington. They're in the West Midlands, though. They're nowhere near Suffolk. Right, we're now officially flying over food. Round of applause. Round of applause for the food. If you have any food, you need to share it around. I don't know how you're all fitting in the back of this plane. Got some more circular fields. In fact, there's some super awesome circular fields over there. Look at that! Oh, I like it. I'm just going to go a little bit over there. Just a little bit. Don't want to go over it, I just want to go near it. Yeah, Cheshire absolutely is where everybody has a cat. And more, it's more like where everybody has a dog. And 3 cars. You get the impression that these fields and stuff are basically for the benefit of people who fly over them so they can go, ooh, look at that. That looks like a book of carpet samples. Cheshire is only very posh in the very posh bits. Obviously there are very posh bits of Cheshire. And then there's like Ellesmere Port. And Crewe. But like football, where do the footballers live? The footballers live in places like Prestbury. Alderley Edge. Wayne Rooney lives in Alderley Edge, I think. He certainly got done for drink driving there, the fool. I've never seen anything like that. That's incredible. Wow. Well, there you go. You could almost convince yourself that those are sweets or maybe slices of boursin. Either of which would be acceptable. Swirly fields. I was wondering whether to go up a little bit higher. Don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. I do like that a lot, though. I wonder what the bit in the middle is. I'm assuming some of this is vineyards. Are there any vineyards here? I think Quartzsite might have been in the middle of a load of vineyards. I can see a car park. There's like a manufacturing like a factory of some sort down there, where they're presumably picking and processing whatever the things in the spirals are. Of all the things I didn't expect to see, I think that would be top of the list. Northern California is where the famous vineyards are. Oh, okay. So a lot more north than this then. Hello to Mr. Chuffy. I don't think we've ever seen you before. And hello to KRIM536. We took off from Santa Barbara Airport about an hour ago. Santa Barbara Municipal Airport, and we're just flying over California to see exciting things like this, which I wasn't expecting. And we're talking about food because I'm reliably informed that all of these fields are food. Food. Putin is here. The service ceiling is no more than 12,000 feet. Challenge accepted. Not really, not really. Have a look out the other side. Just in case we're missing something really epic on the other side, because we might be, you never know. No, just some fields. Some very mixed up fields. Fields. Definitely more exciting over there. The sun is out, the sky is blue. There's plenty of clouds to spoil the view. But it's not raining. It's not raining in my stream. That's good. Thomas Godfrey says a lot of America's food supply comes from the area that we're currently over. Wow. Not surprised though, that's a lot of fields. That's a lot of fields. Fields of food. Everything I do always comes back to food, doesn't it? Except for Oblivion this morning, that was more about spiders. Whew. That was horrible. Ooh, I just heard an oh yeah. I can't remember what oh yeah means. Does it mean that somebody has subscribed? Or followed, or done something? Putin just ordered a pizza. Do you know what? I'm thinking about ordering Chinese tonight. Or something. I haven't had a takeaway in forever. I sort of swore off takeaways because, you know, money. But tonight, I might just get one. You'll have to forgive me. Is it Cry M536 or is it Crim 536? I don't know. But is it photorealistic textures? It is. Downloaded from Blue Sky Scenery, so it's all free, which is kind of cool. And Big Handex D says, what is the route? The route is wherever the hell I want. There is no route, not really. The route is up. What head are we on? 20 degrees, so it's kind of north and a bit east. There's no route. The route is just whatever I feel like. And I'm now invading Just Red's kitchen TV. Good grief, really, am I? I'm in your kitchen talking about food. Is that a train line? Or is that a road? It looks like a train line. Looks like two things running side by side there. That's really rather interesting. Looks like there might be a little kind of town down there as well. It's pronounced kind of like Crim. I just heard another oh yeah. What's the oh yeah? I can't see Twitch, you see. But people are doing things in Twitch, which is awesome. I think they might be following. So welcome to you if you're a new follower. What you get here might not be what you expect. I should warn you. It's all silly all the time. Ravenigma says, a lot of America looks like this when you fly across it. Not always this dry, but lots and lots of farmland. I think there's an airfield port thing down there. There is. What's that? What's that? Where's that? Where's that? Where are we? Oh, is it the one I said that we were going to? KBFL. Bakersfield. Oh, it's a follow. Oh, I've got 2 new followers then. Excellent. So you'll be able to see when we do things that are way more crazy than this. You've joined me just in time for the Winter Olympics. I bloody love the Winter Olympics. We're going to be doing some Winter Olympic themed streams. there are already some sport-themed things, and indeed we have done some winter sports, including the utterly mysterious ski maths. A challenge that required me to do a downhill super G, or alpine slalom or something, whilst adding up some numbers. That was definitely strange. I've also crashed a bobsled many times, but I was okay at the curling. Hello, Matt, not food. Welcome to a very foodie area. We are flying over the food fields of America, which I didn't know we'd be doing. I thought it was all going to be mountains, and it's all food, and I love it. I will go this way a little bit because we're going to end up actually over the mountains, which is not really what I want. Oh, another oh yeah. So many oh yeahs. That's probably a record for oh yeahs. You've missed the swirly fields. There was some swirly fields back behind me. They were cool. Well, there's another town over there as well. I'll just get back into my seat. There we go. Hello, town. Everybody wave to the town. I can see actually where the crops have been sort of lined up. Some of them look like they might be wheat type crops, and some of them look like they might be vegetable type crops. And Matt says that looks like where all the sweet rolls are grown. It's true actually. You'd probably have to make them out of sugar beet or something though. It's lovely. It's really lovely. I like it. What's down there? Don't know. Something. Food. So here's the thing though. Where did they get the water from? Because I haven't seen any water. And my map has no water on it. So do they have to get water in from sort of underground? Because all of this is clearly very, very well watered when the ground around it is really dry. And that is a very dry riverbed. There's a tiny, tiny little lake thing down there, I think. Unless it's a roof of something. Or does it get enough rain so that some water comes through all of these dry riverbeds at some point, like flash floods and stuff? B2 says, B2, have you changed from Twitch to YouTube? Lots of irrigation from the Rocky Mountains. So does the water run off the mountains? Like through the fields then? We're learning all sorts of things today, boys and girls, about agriculture. I thought that we'd more be learning about crashing into a mountain, but that was kind of last week. So all these dry bits are all dry because all the water goes down to this bit, which isn't dry. There you go. The Colorado River supplies a lot of water for agriculture in California. And there are pipes. Lots and lots and lots and lots of pipes. Well. How exciting. I've learnt a lot. I like California. I kind of want to move to California now because food. Be a heck of a logistical operation to get all of that food out of here, around America, around the world. Are there any famous food companies in California that I would know about? Matt Not Food says, aquifers? How dare you? Maybe we'll see you play Farming Simulator, or maybe you won't. I did have a pop at Agricultural Simulator a few years ago, and all that happened was I wrote a song about tractors. I didn't do any actual farming, I just got a tractor, ran it up the wrong side of the road, crashed into a Jaguar, and then wrote a song about it. So that didn't really go very well. I tell you what I could do, though. Is Stardew Valley a farming simulator? Because if it is, I could always do that at some point. Because I gave up doing Parkitect on the basis that the frame rate was terrible, and now, whenever I boost it, you can't see the little people. You can only see their hair. You can literally see hair walking around the theme park. So I've had to give up on that. Quite disappointing. I have to reinstall it as well, I think, which means I'll lose Super Happy World. Ah, Dole Foods. Yeah, I know Dole Foods. Fruit. There's a vote from Putin for Stardew Valley. I've had it for ages. I bought it when it came out, I think. I just never played it because I just don't. I do tend not to play things. I buy them and then don't play them. Frito-Lay. Oh, know them. Oh, yeah. Fruit and crisps. Yes. Oh, I'm so excited that this has turned into a food stream. I definitely wasn't expecting that. At the very least, I expected a drier version of last week's expedition into the Alps. Should we guess what some of this is? I'm going to go for cereal. I reckon there's probably some maize down there. And maybe some wheat, some corn. All the cereals. And the very, very green things might be beans. Or they could be fruit related, I suppose. Guess the food. Is there a crop dusting simulator? That's not as silly as it sounds. Or well, I don't know whether you intended it to sound silly, but do you know what? There's a number of simulators knocking about for some extremely strange things. Oh, another follower. Hello to you, whoever that was. One of the ones that I picked up... Oh no, actually I won't spoil the surprise, but I did pick up a very, very peculiar simulator. Something that you would never imagine they could make a game out of. But there are all sorts of things, all sorts of really, really odd simulation games that are all terrible. I did Snowcat Simulator once, and that was one of the funniest things I've ever done. There's a highlight video of that I put out a few months ago that makes me laugh so much that if I ever feel a bit low, I go and watch the highlight of Snowcat Simulator and what happened when I accidentally pressed the wrong key. It was utterly brilliant. Utterly brilliant. I think B2 is being silly when he says hand simulator, but in actual fact, I did do tea. Picking up tea, making tea. That was really difficult. It was like one of those QWOP kind of games, but you had to make a cup of tea. That went really wrong. Here are the mountains again. Good grief. We've flown quite a long way though, I think. Just get back into my pilot's seat. For anybody who is new to these streams, oh, there's another big town there. Hello, town. Yeah, if you're new here, what we try and do is land somewhere hopelessly inappropriate. So, we need a field. Well, there's plenty of those. There's loads and loads of fields. What I'll do then is I'll start reducing my height. We'll turn away from the mountains to avoid likely catastrophe. And let's play Find a Field. That means me beginning to reduce my altitude. All the way down, 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 down. Down. More down than that. Very, very down. I think there's some cabbages down there. In fact, those look like my Banished fields, don't they? Do they not look just like what we see in Banished? So what have I got? all sorts of stuff. Cabbages, pumpkins, squash, peppers, beans. So much food. So much food. Hand Simulator actually exists. Try to pick up things and blow up your competitors. That really does sound quite strange. If you weren't around at Christmas and you're new here, you may have missed Christmas Shopping Simulator. That was a whole new world. James Purcell says, oh, hello to you, says, you're making me hungry. Oh, yes, always. Always, always, always. It's all about the food, ultimately. If I can't find food in a game, it's not there. It's gone very dry again on this side, hasn't it? Dear. There's another little... Is that another little town down there? There must be loads of little towns, because otherwise people would have to drive for miles to get all these crops in. So I'm assuming there are probably towns that just exist entirely for gathering in crops. It's just like Banished. The best thing about being here is there are no trees to catch me out on the way down. This is your captain speaking. Brace position. No, wait, that's not what I mean. No. We are slowly but surely coming in for a landing in a field somewhere. If you have not already done so, and you wish to, and even if you don't want to, please like the stream on whatever platform you're watching it on. And hit subscribe or follow. If you go if you do a follow, it goes, oh yeah, which is quite fun. I do have Patreon. It's better than this. Patreon videos are like The Sims and pretty much anything to do with food. But the other day we did casino. We did a casino game. My God, that got violent. That got really violent really quickly. If you don't believe me, seriously. There was violence. There were drugs. There was cheating. The police turned up. I was keeping 4 people in a basement at one point, and I knew nothing about that. Is that some, like, restricted airspace or something there? Well, we're going to plough straight through that. Ha! Plough. Matthew says Casino Inc. was quite good. It was quite good in its way. It was just weird. It really wasn't what I was expecting. It sort of became a bit sort of click here, click here, click here, click here, click here. I was like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. As normal. But yeah, that was kind of strange. There's another town over there. I hope you're all waving to the towns. Next time, I'll see if I can get that app. Some guy suggested, his name is literally Some Guy, it wasn't just Some Guy, suggested there's an app that you can connect to Flight Simulator and it will show you on your mobile device where you are and what the towns are, but I forgot. I just launched my plane with absolutely no attention to geography whatsoever. I just went, California, that'll do. Right, what are we down to? 6.5. Not fast enough, not fast enough. Down quicker. Put my throttle back up actually. Just a bit. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to see another floor as well, Matthew. I managed to buy the floor and then discovered that I was keeping people in the basement and never worked out how to run the other floor, because I should move the disco into the basement, really. Anyway, we're talking about something that's on Patreon. $1 a month, kids. $1 a month. There's so much crap on there now, by which I mean amazing videos. There's The Sims. That's very funny, actually. God, one of the episodes of The Sims, 4 subscribers form a band. There's also a game called My Paper Boat, which gave me a headache. Have I ever flown over Area 51? Everybody's been asking me about Area 51. I'm not even near Area 51. But no, I haven't, but we could do. Because ultimately you get to decide where I fly. If the scenery is worth it. Now, with Area 51, I can absolutely get the scenery because I can get it off Blue Sky Scenery because it's in Nevada. We've already had that conversation. It's in Nevada. So yes, I could absolutely do Area 51 because the people who did this scenery also do Nevada. What's that down there? What are those? Is that more irrigation things? It's very exact, isn't it? It's very exact. Hello, Amari Joseph. I don't think I've ever seen you before here. We had lots of new people today. If you follow in Twitch, you get... Oh, yeah. If you follow in YouTube, you get... Well, nothing, actually, if you don't press notification. Please make sure, if you're in YouTube, that you press notification, because... it doesn't tell people that I've got videos out, which is really frustrating. I don't like YouTube anymore. But as a platform in terms of actually doing stuff with it, it is still better. I know what I'm doing in YouTube. Twitch remains a cultural mystery. I had a raid in Twitch once. I had no idea what it meant. There's just lots of people bursting in and going, "This is a raid!" And I was going, "Is it? That's great. What does that mean?" And then lo and behold, it turns up as a thing on my dashboard. Number of raids. And I'm thinking, it's a thing? It's an actual real thing? Well, there you go. I think all of this looks like a likely airfield, frankly. All of it. It's all ripe for landing on. In fact, I might actually end up landing in whatever that restricted bit is. Is that restricted? I don't know. It's a pink bit. Anyway, look. The long straight buildings might have been a dairy farm. This is Banished. I'm flying over Banished. This is brilliant. In case anybody's wondering what I'm on about, sometimes in these streams we do Banished, where basically I'm on the ground creating what you are currently looking at. In medieval times, and we all sing along with the music. It's good. And I order the locusts around to do my bidding and create fields. And occasionally things set on fire. I have to say that for very flat land, this has been fascinating. I had no idea about all of this. Now, because this is photorealistic, we might well go across some buildings and things when we land. I have just noticed though, look, there's a little uprighty bit there. If we crashed into that, you'd have known about it. If we do crash, I was going to say it doesn't matter, but in actual fact, if we don't crash, it does matter to some people who are kind of expecting crashes. But yeah, we're just going to land probably on top of a dairy farm. There we go. We've come down to 2,000 feet. We'll come down a bit lower. Lower and slower. Look at all of this amazing scenery on my map. We're going to miss all of that in favour of the food. So, normal Jenny is resumed then. What we could do, of course, is pick this flight up next time and fly over Northern California and possibly go to Nevada. Or I could just sort of hutch up a bit. We could take off from an airfield much, much, much further north. Crashes are premium content. Yes, maybe they are. Maybe they are. You're getting your premium content for free, potentially, this afternoon. Unfortunately, the closer we get to the farms, the less detailed they will become because it's photorealistic scenery and it's free. There's a little donut there. Look, there's a donut. A little tiny racetrack in the middle of a very green bit. How weird. Is that somebody's home? This is all a bit posh, isn't it? Look, this is like welcome to my big farm. Got a driveway and some trees. Oh, there you go. There we go. Chicken farms. Is it chicken farms? I've got those in Banished as well. Got everything. Okay, right, what are we down to? 1,200 feet. We are actually almost going to end up landing in that circle, whatever that circle might be. The police might turn up. Somebody on YouTube says, women can't fly, LOL, what is this sorcery? On one hand, that's quite offensive. On the other, I can't fly, so you are expecting me to land this thing. Let's not land in a maze field, we may get lost, says Ravenigma, that's true. Has anybody ever been in a maze? I've been in a maze. James says we've got all the ingredients to make some nice soup. Yes. That's how we should finish this, with some nice soup. And some crusty bread. The fields are getting bigger. Like, way bigger. That means we're very, very, very close to them. And, we're going to die. Right, okay, well. Autopilot off. Throttle down. Let's find somewhere to land. You see, they've put another of those poles in. There's another of those poles to catch me out. I'm not going to be able to tell where the ground is here, am I? Because there are no auto-gen objects. It's all flat. So I literally can't tell where I am. This is going to be fun. Coming in a little bit quick there. Just a little bit quick. Not that it matters. There's nothing to crash into. It's fine. It's fine. Matthew Booth says, I flew over cows in a hot air balloon and the cows ran off when the flame went off. I was surprised. I imagine they probably thought you were going to flame grill them or something. Oh my god, it's the Burger King in a hot air balloon. Right. Anyway, this looks vaguely near. We look vaguely near the ground now. Just vaguely. Yeah. 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 Whoa. Brakes. Put the brake. I think we're down. I think we might be. I think we might be down. We're slowing down. Don't get excited, but I think I might have done this unless one of those pole things is in the way. Houston, we have no problem. Go me. I even landed on something that looks a bit like a runway. Well, there you go. There we go. Thank you very much indeed. Engines off. Ah, glorious. There we go. Just for the avoidance of doubt, an engine is not started. Ah. It even looked like I'd landed on an airfield. But hooray! Round of applause, round of applause. Round of applause for the pilot. Thank you. We've landed in something. And as Just Red says, we've probably just destroyed $600,000 worth of crops. You can imagine which crop we've landed in, though. Whichever one suits you most. For me, it's probably a crop of... What could I just sit and eat? Oranges. Or something. Ah. Well, that was good. I thought I did quite well there. I really enjoyed the scenery in that. I mean, really enjoyed the scenery in that. I even think that might have been better than the Alps. The Alps were awesome, though. But the weather was a bit more dubious in the Alps because it was snowing. As B2 has rightly confirmed, we have landed in California. Wherever we might be, we'll have a look at the map now. I don't tend to look at the map when I'm in flight because it kind of breaks the immersion, but let's have a look. Look how far we've come. Wow! That's a long way. We are currently at a latitude of north 36 by west 119, if that means anything to you. We avoided landing at Mefford. We could have landed at Mefford, but we didn't, and we could have also landed at Exeter. But we didn't, because we landed in a field. I'm interested now as to what this was. It was Visalia Municipal. Well, there you go. Hobbit Airlines says he's dropping by for a like. Thank you. Unfortunately, I think you've missed the stream, so you can always catch up with it later. And, yeah, awesome. Thank you very much indeed for joining me, and I will probably be blocking one or two of you because I can. Thank you!